Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin our ceremony this afternoon, we have a special presentation by President Eloy Oakley.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin today, we would like to take a moment to acknowledge a service awardee member, Mr. Larry Zorn. Larry was born in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. At the age of 4, his family moved to Long Beach and became a true American at heart. Larry served in the Air Force during the Vietnam era and had a great appreciation for those who served in the military, particularly those who served in World War II. Larry joined the LBCC family on May 27, 1997, as a custodian on the graveyard shift. He was soon promoted to truck driver in the warehouse the following year. Once again, he was promoted in July of 2000 to a skilled maintenance worker in the facilities department, where he spent the remainder of his career. As we all know, Larry passed recently. He is survived by his wife of 15 years, our own colleague, Kathy Zorn, and her family, his dad, Edwin Bud Zorn, and his 4 beloved kitties. Today, we would like to honor Larry for his 15 years of service to the Long Beach City College. His wife, Kathy, is here, and I ask her to come up to accept his service pin at this time. Please welcome Kathy Zorn to the stage.
This is such an incredible privilege. Larry and I have often talked about how blessed we've been to be able to work here at Long Beach City College. Incredible co-workers, incredible place to work. And by the way, Larry's dad is here today. He flew in just this morning from British Columbia, Canada. God answered amazing prayers, and he was able to get a passport in just 3 days. And the end of last week, he didn't even yet have an original birth certificate. He only had, I think he said, 5 copies of his birth certificate. So in less than a week's time, he was able to get the original birth certificate and his passport. He picked up that passport yesterday with the help of a lot of dear friends. And I am so, so happy to be able to share this very sad but very special occasion with, as I refer to him, my second dad. And I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for the love that you all have shown us during the past few weeks. I've gotten so many emails, cards, so much, just so much love of people just pouring out their love to us during this time. And like I have said to people, I don't know how people go through something like this without God and without friends. And I wouldn't have wanted to go without either through this. And so I thank you very much. Thank you to all of you who willingly changed this program so that we would be able to be here and be presented this pin. So God bless you all. Thank you so much.
And now, on behalf of our Board of Trustees, our President, and everybody at Long Beach City College, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this very special day of recognition of the 25th anniversary of Outstanding Colleague and also the Service Awards. In honor of the specialness of this occasion and being 25 years, I direct your attention to the video screen above. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, and who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those timid souls who knew neither victory or defeat.
The essence of America lies not in the headline heroes, but in the everyday folks who live and die unknown, yet leave their dreams as legacies.
When I think about outstanding colleague, I think there are two things that come to mind. One was that it's a chance to recognize people that we work with day in and day out, not so much for what they do and for their content expertise and for the contributions that they make to the community, but I think it's more about how they do what they do. It's their kindness, it's their smile, it's their willingness to go the extra step or even the extra mile to get the work done and to support their colleagues and to be with them. It's wonderful to be acknowledged for what you do, and I think in this world it's sometimes something that we fail to do often enough. It's also a chance for colleagues to say to the people that they work with every day, we really appreciate what you do. And that's why I think this is such an important tradition. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in this for the last 12 years, and I've been able to see all of the notifications for the last 12 years. And to see the joy and surprise on the faces of those who've been selected is worth everything. So I am honored to have been a recipient of this award. Somebody said, so where's your award hang? It hangs right next to my desk, and I literally look up at it every day. And it reminds me that it's not just enough to do the work. There's people every day, and you have to be gracious and kind to them as well. So I'm honored to have been a part of this whole process, and I congratulate all the recipients today.
I want to talk about how the idea of the award came about. And this is my recollection, so I hope I'm right. Bob Sanders and a group of us, I was in student activities at the time, thought it would be good to honor people who went above and beyond in their job and in the community. And so we formed a committee to develop the concept of outstanding colleague. And we called it colleague because we wanted to include the entire campus, not the faculty, not the staff, everybody. And so from that evolved a 25-year relationship between the Long Beach City College Foundation, who funded the grant, and the Outstanding Colleague Committee. It's kind of funny, when I was invited to become a member, I was surprised, as is their practice. And I had said a number of times to Lois Snyder, my secretary, that, oh, I'll never get this award because I've alienated too many people on campus. And so I was really shocked when the committee came and informed me, and I have to tell you, it was a highlight of my life. I love this school. I've been here for over 40 years. I'm proud of this institution and what we've done in the community, and I feel very fortunate to have been considered by my peers as an outstanding colleague.
When some of us were trying to think of a way to recognize people who help students at the college to be successful, we never dreamed that 25 years later the award would still be in place and so many wonderful people would have been recognized. We wanted to make sure that people who quietly go about doing a good job at the college were recognized. Lots of times there are certain people who stand out and everybody knows about, and there are other people who just do their job every day and aren't always in the limelight. I think most of us who work here see it every day, that in small ways and in large ways we touch the lives of students that we meet. And it's so exciting to know that the college is a force for good in a challenging world.
My name is Phyllis Arias. I was an Outstanding Colleague Award recipient in 2001, I believe. And I remember thinking when people walked in the door, "Go away, I don't have time for this, I'm too busy. Can we do this later?" Because at that time in my career, I was really, really busy. I have slowed down just a bit since then, but I still like to keep, involved. I like to know what's going on, and I like to contribute to this college. And I think that's a characteristic shared by all of the Outstanding Colleague Award recipients, that they like to be involved, and they contribute to what makes Long Beach City College Long Beach City College. Congratulations to this year's Outstanding Colleague Award recipients.
Hello, I'm Beverly Norberg.
And I'm Marcia Deweese Pettit.
And we both started working at Long Beach City College in April of 1982.
I'd like to really congratulate those who were announced this year as the Outstanding Colleagues. We're really glad that we're able to honor you and appreciate the good work well done. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I remember it very clearly. Some classified staff came marching into my office. I was a career counselor, and had flowers and balloons and announced that I was the Outstanding Colleague this year. And it was a big surprise, and I was thrilled. I didn't know exactly what all of it meant, but then later on I was told that there would be an assembly and I'd get an award, and I was to then make some kind of little presentation. And I talked to one of my very favorite colleagues, Jim Ostak, and he said, "Dorothy, when you get up there, the first thing I want you to say is, well, it's about damn time. It's a pleasure to be part of this entire group. My colleagues are outstanding, all of them, and the ones that were recognized as being outstanding colleagues were just really special, top of the iceberg kind of people." And I'd like to congratulate all of those new recipients that have been honored by the staff and their faculty colleagues and the students, whoever nominated you. I'm sure that you definitely earned that, and you feel pride in having to be the recipient. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this very elite group of people.
Long Beach City College has a special place in my life. 3 particular days I will always remember. The day that I was selected to become the men's advisor. 4 years later, my daughter enrolled at Long Beach City College. And the 3rd day was the day that I received the Colleague of the Year award. Awards are fine, and it's particularly an honor for me when your colleagues tell you that you have been special to them and special to the institution. So Long Beach City College, it has beautiful buildings, and it's had many famous alumni graduate from here. But what it means to me are the wonderful people that I worked with and the outstanding community that we served. And I'd like to congratulate those recipients this year on receiving an award that I value a great deal.
Hello, LBCC friends, colleagues, my family actually. I spent 28.5 years at the Pacific Coast campus of Long Beach City College, and I made that my home away from home. When they came to the office to tell me that I was the first Outstanding Colleague of the Year, I had no words. I had tears in my eyes, and it meant a lot to me. And I would like to congratulate all the new ones, the ones that are getting it this year. Congratulations to the recipients of the Outstanding Colleague of the Year award. Thank you.
Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I was in the administration building down in counseling, And as I recall, Augie Lula was one of the people who came down to tell me that I was one of the outstanding colleagues, and my reaction was to cry, to hand back, I think, the corsage back to him and tell him to go away, because I didn't understand why they had selected me. And I kept saying it goes to everyone else and not to me, because I shouldn't be getting this award. So you do things that you love to do. There's no reason in the world to be rewarded for what you do and that you love doing it. So being an outstanding colleague is sort of what everyone is when they're doing their job well. That was sort of my feeling, and I'm not changing my story. All of you do the good job that you do, and you're all outstanding colleagues. To all the colleagues that are the outstanding colleagues in this wonderful 25th year, I congratulate you. You are now among what some people would think would be an elite group. I think it's just among your wonderful colleagues who every day get up and do the best job they can for the students.
I'm so happy to be part of this celebration for the outstanding colleague. I was on the panel that when we first selected the first outstanding colleague group, I remember we chose Maria Diaz and Howard Shiflett and Barbara Calabas. And I was there and thought it was a fascinating program, but didn't know that I was going to be nominated later for this award. And I feel very honored about it. This is the neatest thing, and I want to congratulate all the wonderful people that have been nominated and the new ones coming up. Congratulations to everybody.
I was delighted to get the award, but there was some guilt, like, hey, we've got a lot of great instructors. It's good to be back. It feels good on campus. I can't believe. I was just told that the award will be made to part-time staff. And I think that's a great idea, because they work hard. Many of them are outstanding teachers. It's good to be here, and good luck to all of you.
I still remember the day that Lisa Sugimoto, Dwayne Schaefer, and myself were meeting at the Pacific Coast campus. Corrine Magdalena walked into the room with a group of people holding some flowers. And my first thought was, Corine's in the wrong room. And then she walked up to me and said, Deb, you have won the Outstanding Colleague Award. Well, needless to say, I was totally shocked. To this day, that day has been the icing on the cake. So congratulations to this year's recipients. Believe me, it will be a day that you'll never forget. It will live in your heart forever. And you will always, always, always keep the feeling in your heart that you have today.
25 years of outstanding colleague. I mean, how special is that when you think about 80 years of an institution? You probably also need to think about the previous 65 years of all the outstanding colleagues who never had the opportunity to be honored. As one of those who were, I feel privileged, I feel humbled, I feel part of a team, actually, because even though there are a number of us who seem to be visible and get some of this recognition, there's really a whole lot of folks that we work with who go unnoticed. And those are the individuals I think about when I think about outstanding colleagues. They're the ones cutting the yards. They're the ones in the middle of the night cleaning our classrooms. There's the instructors and classified staff who do their great jobs with our students. But the thing that I appreciate is outstanding colleague to me means all of us. It means all of us who work as a team to do the best we can for our students. To me, that's outstanding.
I wanted to let you know about when I found out about earning the Outstanding Colleague Award. I was thrilled. What happened is I was limping up the stairs at PCC. I had just broken my foot, and I had all these people following me. I ended up going into my classroom and found out I had been named one of the Outstanding Colleagues of the Year. And what was so wonderful is not only were many staff and faculty there, but the students were there. That's the STAR Learning Community students. And it was an outstanding time to be there with all of my colleagues, students, and faculty.
I'm pleased and honored to be part of this event today, and I wanted to tell you about one of the most rewarding experiences for me as Outstanding Colleague was when I was able to attend commencement. I had worked commencement, and as a matter of fact, worked the Outstanding Colleague event for many years behind the scenes, and it was incredibly rewarding to be able to be part of the proceedings, to be behind the lectern and to look out on the graduating students, the faculty, and then to look up in the stands at all the family and friends. It was an incredibly rewarding experience to feel that you're part of the community of Long Beach. I want to congratulate today's recipients, and I want to remind you that you need to enjoy every minute of this time, to take all the accolades and say thank you, to go to all the events that everyone invites you to, just to be pleased and proud of yourself and acknowledge yourself as what you are, an outstanding colleague.
It's really a great honor to be chosen outstanding colleague. I don't think there's anything that makes you feel more humble than to have your peers say you're okay. It's really a thrill to know that you're doing something that other people think is okay. And when they told me that I had received the award, it took a while to sink in, because I wasn't really aware of all of the things that the award meant. But I was delighted to be part of this. I love Long Beach City College. I still do. It changed my life, and the award helped. I say congratulations to all of you again.
First, I want to start by just really saying how important this is to everyone here, and to give special honor to those receiving the award today. Not only is it an honor, it is a privilege to be part of such an elite group of people. You know, I never thought of myself as an outstanding colleague. I was just doing a job that I thought was a lot of fun, with a lot of fun students and a lot of people who were all contributing to building programs at the time. So to be considered outstanding just by doing the job that you should be doing anyway, it's a wonderful thing to be able to work doing a job that's not really a job. It's a love, if you will, and all of us got into the profession because we love our subject, we love students, we love people. And Long Beach City College has allowed all of us to explore that love and to develop it, to be an outstanding colleague in an environment where there are many, many outstanding individuals. You can look through the departments and see many who should all get this award. I appreciate having had the opportunity to be one of the first recipients, if I can remember back that far. I guess that's before they figured out what an outstanding colleague was. But now that you've got it down, I know that the recipients this year have the tradition to grow on. Long Beach City College has given all of us an opportunity to do our very best, a community that not only encourages but nourishes our talents and our creativity. This is a wonderful thing. So outstanding colleagues, continue to be outstanding.
All right. Well, today we're in for a great treat. In honor of the 25 years of celebrating outstanding colleagues at LBCC, we have welcomed back all of our former outstanding colleagues, the years ranging from 1984 all the way to last year's 2010 awardees. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our former outstanding colleagues. Get the financial aid people together. All right. What a treat. Let me tell you a little bit about the Outstanding Colleague Award. 2011 celebrates the 25th year that Long Beach City College Outstanding Colleague Award is being presented. For the past 25 years, the Outstanding Colleague Award has honored LBCC employees who exemplify outstanding service to the college, its constituent groups, and the college community. Each year, administrators, faculty, and staff have the opportunity to honor fellow coworkers by nominating someone that they feel has made an outstanding contribution to the college and who is deserving of a special recognition. This award stands out as a special and very coveted recognition because the recipients are nominated and selected by their colleagues and peers. Members of the Long Beach City College Renewal Committee review all of the nominations and ultimately select recipients that best exemplify the desired qualities of an outstanding colleague. Nominations are based on a colleague's exceptional knowledge and abilities in the performance of their job, as well as their campus leadership roles. It also recognizes work in the community that enhances the image of the college, along with the nominees' generosity in sharing their time and talents for the benefit of LBCC students, colleagues, and the greater college community. Over the past 25 years, over 1,000 LBCC employees have been nominated, but only 94 employees have earned this prestigious award. At this time, I called your attention to the screen again as we introduce this year's outstanding colleagues.
Laura O'Connor Verbrick is an outstanding example of the excellent faculty members we have here at LBCC. She took on the economic development project of being a faculty lead on the $2 million Green Building Energy Sustainability Grant and brought creativity and innovation to all aspects of her work. She personally took all the coursework and passed the LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design accreditation, which was not required, but added greatly to our college's knowledge base for the program. She managed 2 CTE SB 70 grants that are aimed at developing strong career pathways between high school and college, with one activity she co-led being a one-day symposium of all high school and LBCC architecture faculty. They discussed their methodology and the software programs used in their programs versus what was used by industry. The outcome was a commitment to all to use a common software program with industry that will enable students to be prepared for a smooth transition, first to college programs and then for the workforce when they graduate from LBCC. She also finds time to work with local professional organizations, the American Institute of Architects, U.S. Green Building Council, Long Beach Heritage, to create student-friendly programs. She made outstanding contributions to the college beyond the requirements of her job assignment by creating the architecture department's first online hybrid course, giving students, particularly working students, an additional way to complete coursework. She has also written a brand new course in environmental sustainability for architecture, one of the hottest career areas in the architecture field. She is currently working on a committee with LBUSD to create an articulation agreement and seamless pathway from LBUSD to LBCC and then to a 4-year school. Last summer, she was a lead in creating the Green Academy, a free interdisciplinary certificate program for LBCC students and LBUSD seniors to learn about sustainability related to architecture and construction trades. The Green Academy student video contest resulted in an outstanding first-place winner that was chosen by the California Energy Commission to be posted on their website. If you ever want to see the passion of our students for green, watch that video. When I think about all the reasons why people should come to LBCC, one of the main ones is the excellence of our faculty, their depth of subject matter knowledge, their real caring about students, their interest in keeping their curriculum up to date and even reaching into the future for creative elements that will hold a student's attention, thus retaining them and enabling them to be successful. Laura is a model for this behavior. They always say that if you want something done, give it to a busy person. For a new mother who teaches and works in her profession, finding time is not easy. But exciting students about the field of architecture is her passion, and no matter how much we asked, she always found the time. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Laura O'Connor Verbrick, an outstanding colleague.
Based on nomination by your colleagues and peers and the final selection of the Renewal Committee, I'm pleased to formally acknowledge you as the Long Beach City College 2011 Outstanding Colleague. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gail. The World English Dictionary's definition of collaboration is the act of working with others on a joint project. I've had the opportunity to collaborate with faculty and students of Long Beach City College since 2007, and I'm especially honored and thankful to have been chosen as one of the Colleagues of the Year. I work part-time in the Architecture and Drafting Department and have been offered opportunities to do things that many part-time faculty do not. In just 4 years, I've worked with many different departments, full and part-time faculty, administration, not only at City College but also at Long Beach Unified, as well as industry professionals, all with the goal of creating seamless educational pathways for our students from high school to community college and then on to a university or a job. To me, collaboration is everything. It not only makes my job more interesting and exciting, but it creates an environment where, in my opinion, students are more likely to excel, in part because the collective enthusiasm in the product being created is palpable. I'd like to thank the Dean and everyone in the School of Trade and Technology, including the Architecture and Drafting Department, the Office of Economic and Resource Development and Institutional Resource Development, and especially my colleague Adrian Erb for giving me a chance to teach and collaborate at Long Beach City College. Our Long Beach College promise has been hailed as collaboration at its best. With money getting tighter every year, remaining focused on the students and collaborating at all levels can bring us through. Musician Bill Wither said, "I feel that it's healthier to look out at the world through a window than through a mirror. Otherwise, all you see is yourself and whatever is behind you." Collaboration is about looking beyond you and what you think you know. Thank you.
Today I was given the privilege to introduce Robert Sparks to you as one of the Long Beach City College Outstanding Colleagues for 2011. Mr. Sparks has been working for the college as a reprographic technician for 15 years. During his years of service, he has excelled not just for providing quality reprographic services to the faculty and staff, but also for providing those services with professionalism, efficiency, dedication, courtesy, politeness, and graciousness. I cannot think of a single staff or faculty member at PCC who does not know him for his authentic qualities, as he is the only one providing excellent care of all of our duplicating needs. Even though his services are not directly related to the students, he indirectly contributes to their learning process by completing the duplication of all of their assignments and testing materials in a perfect and a timely manner. To optimize the copier's performance, he gives the machines the proper maintenance, which keeps them running in good condition all the time. This is very important in the long run, as each machine does around 500,000 clicks per year. His total devotion and dedication to his job is such that he has never been absent for the last 10 years. During his break times or after his working hours, Mr. Sparks has contributed his time and knowledge to help the ESL students succeed in the multicultural classes. He has volunteered his hours serving as a job interviewer, helping the students to improve their communication skills and to expand their knowledge of American culture. Due to his friendly nature, whenever students see him, they ask him for information about classes or directions to classrooms or offices, and he always responds to their questions with precision and kindness. Whenever there is a chance, he takes the opportunity to talk to the students about the importance of getting an education and how studying is the best investment in one's life. He always treats everyone with equal respect and courtesy. In addition, his extraordinary good sense of humor helps to make work easier. Our campus is very privileged to have him in charge of our duplicating center because he not only concentrates his efforts to complete his job with excellence, but to serve students, faculty, staff, and administrators with respect, politeness, and friendliness. And that is what makes him a distinguished employee. Therefore, I'm honored to present Mr. Sparks as one of Long Beach City College Outstanding Colleagues for 2011.
Based on nomination by your colleagues and peers and the final selection of the Renewal Committee, I truly am pleased, Bob, to formally acknowledge you as the Long Beach City College 2011 Outstanding Colleague. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank Elizabeth for the introduction. This was a complete surprise, and in the last few weeks, I've come to realize what a truly respected award it is, and I'm humbled and I'm very pleased to be here. Who I am as an employee is really a reflection of the positive experiences I've had with the faculty and staff and working with the students and the Department of Business Support Services. Mike Collins is our director, and Mike makes everyone feel like a member of the team. Nate Jarrett is the manager of mail and duplicating services, and Nate has provided us with the technicals to be successful, and he permits the freedom for us to go to work each and every day to do the right thing. Marlon Martin and Tom Boo are my immediate colleagues. These men are gentlemen. I look up to them. I respect them. They're patient teachers. They have years and years of experience, and it's a pleasure working for them. And they know how to run a duplicating center. I want everyone to know at the college that I look forward to coming to work each and every day, and it's a privilege and it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
It is my absolute privilege and honor to be able to say a few words about Brent Gilmore, who was selected as an outstanding colleague this year. For those of you who don't know, Brent is the Business Process Support Supervisor in that area. Working with Brent on a daily basis reminds me of the following quote: "Only undertake what you can do in excellent fashion. There are no prizes for average performance." Brent clearly demonstrates outstanding performance in all areas that he is responsible for, and settles for nothing less than excellent. To name just a few of his responsibilities, he is heavily involved in enrollment management, which requires producing weekly reports related to schedule expenses, enrollment, FTS data, and so forth. While that might not mean much to all of you, the work that he does is instrumental and used by the Vice President of Academic Affairs, deans, and department heads to help make decisions regarding course offerings and scheduling. Brent is also responsible for making sure PeopleSoft is working as expected and troubleshooting issues which can take countless hours. He ensures that the staff in academic services has the resources to do their job, providing support for problems, making sure web data is accurate and updated, ensuring accuracy of PeopleSoft data, supporting standard user requests from the VPs, deans, and department heads, tracking enrollment, and supporting the overall curriculum and scheduling processes. Brent not only fulfills his duties, but goes above and beyond. He has taken on a leadership role by collaborating with the staff to create documentation for the 16-week calendar, which will serve as a model template for all other areas of the college. And he designed the 16-week calendar website found on the Academic Services site. He wrote the project plan for schedule change forms, which are now automated, simplifying the way academic administrative assistants submit course changes. Brent was also involved with the Academic Services staff in creating a series of online calculators, which include salary calculators, schedule calculators, and others, enabling the administrative assistants and faculty to compute workload and FTS calculations. Much of his time recently has been devoted to working with IITS on the data warehouse, which will transform how various constituent groups at the college will be able to access data. This project will be rolled out to the deans next month and will allow them to access a wide range of college information. In sum, Brent is responsible for an enormous amount of work in this office and is meticulous about his work. He is constantly seeking new ways to improve current business processes. He never complains about the countless hours he may have to spend troubleshooting an issue or putting together a complex report that may have taken days. He does an immense amount of work supporting enrollment management, and all that he is responsible for is done with careful planning and consideration. Brent is someone who always has a smile on his face, and no matter how overloaded with tasks he may be, he will provide a faculty member, dean, or VP with the assistance they may need. He is also an excellent educator and communicator, so he is able to translate what is done in a way that is easy to understand. He has a remarkable ability to simplify and organize the most complex projects. He possesses a positive attitude at all times and engages others wherever possible. Brent is a unique individual demonstrating excellence, patience, integrity, and a strong work ethic. He exemplifies the idea that excellence is the unlimited ability to improve the quality of what one has to offer. I am thrilled that he has been recognized for his work and dedication to Long Beach City College, and I'm very proud that he is a member of the Academic Services team who continue to work behind the scenes to transform the way we operate to create more efficient systems benefiting staff, faculty, administration, and in turn, our students. Congratulations, Brent.
This is Don Burz's personal favorite employee in the college. I just thought I would share that with you. Based on nomination by your colleagues and peers and final selection by the Renewal Committee, I am pleased to formally acknowledge you as the Long Beach City College 2011 Outstanding Colleague. Congratulations, Brent.
It's a great honor to be nominated Outstanding Colleague, especially this year as we celebrate the 25th anniversary. And I congratulate the other awardees. And I thank you to Mina for the wonderful video. I want to express my thanks to her. She's been an outstanding administrator. She's responsive, empowering, a great communicator, and I respect her leadership. I'd like to point out that when that picture was taken, on the day that I was scheduled to be notified of the award, I ended up taking that morning off. And so Mina text messaged me in the morning saying, you have to come in for a meeting. So I quickly got dressed, and I got in my car, and I drove over here, right at the office, got my notebook, and then Mina, was walking with me, and next thing you know, we walk into a room, and I saw Gary. So I'm like, oh boy. And I'm just so appreciative of the award. I want to thank the other staff in academic services. Everyone in the team is incredible, and we share a suite with institutional effectiveness, and I know we all are so fortunate to be able to work together on a regular basis. And I want to thank all of them for supporting me over the years. I'd also like to give my gratitude to Don Burrs. His energy and humor has in the workplace has made it fun, and I've learned a lot from him. I also like to thank the deans. They've been so supportive in helping me understand enrollment management and giving me the feedback to improve the processes. And I'd like to thank IITS, May Sakamoto, and the other business analysts, the folks that help bridge the functional requirements with technical solutions, and I want to thank them for their help over the years. I want to thank Fred Trapp, who originally brought me into the college and patiently explained to me what FTES was when I really had no clue what that was. And finally, we all, as we know, all know this is a challenging year for the state and for the college, and knowing that there's probably going to be changes coming to the college over the coming years. And my personal goal is to keep an open mind and be flexible, to have a positive attitude, to demonstrate respect and appreciation for my colleagues and the students. And we don't work in a vacuum. We rely on each other. And I want to thank you, all of you, for being here today to join in the celebration. Thank you.
It's my great pleasure to tell you a little bit about the Czarina of PCC, Miss Vicki Lurch. Mark Taylor and I have called her that since we first got a chance to work with her about 4 years ago. We were hosting a large event at the Pacific Coast campus, and that's just something one must never attempt to do without Vicki's expertise. So hence the Czarina title has just kind of caught on. Vicki's not easy to overlook. She's got an infectious laugh and a wicked sense of humor and a passion for all that she does. Her father, Val, in fact, has been a Long Beach City Councilman and a vice mayor, but he's better known as Vicki's dad. So, if you've ever called the office of the Associate Vice President at the Pacific Coast campus, or if you've ever needed anything done and done right at PCC, you probably have dealt with Vicki. Watching her in action, balancing a variety of requests made upon her and seeing how she balances it with a sense of pride and professionalism is really impressive. She's the spirit and the laughter that is integral to what makes PCC such a nice place to work. Notice those who transfer begrudgingly over from LAC to PCC, they love it there. They find a sense of support and family and total commitment to the success of our students. So as her boss, Dr. Byron Breland, says, Vicki embodies the sense of support and family feeling that PCC is known to have. She has the type of loyalty that can neither be taught nor trained. So other colleagues comment on her compassion, her cheerfulness, the way she practically always has the answer to your question. And with that goes a smile, never making you feel like an idiot, as Mary Thoits would say. And her willingness to help out is appreciated by so many of us. Personally, I rely on Vicki all the time as both a colleague and a friend. When the marquees were ready to go up a few months ago, I fretted about how I would fit programming both of them on each campus. But who stepped in? The Czarina. And when I needed an extra parade driver on a Saturday night, she didn't hesitate for a second. She goes that extra mile for us so often, and I'm so very grateful for her every time she thinks ahead, thinks about the Pacific Coast campus, shares her perspective, organizes events such as the original 4th grade tour, the Caminata. She's just a really busy person who balances it all so well. So often we try and think of ways to unify our two campuses. It's people like Vicki that join us and remind us that we are one college. So, Czarina, on behalf of your many friends and colleagues, thank you and congratulations, and go Dodgers.
There's a lot of cool folks at this college, you know that? This is really good. This is a personal pleasure for me. I got to work with Vicki for almost 2 years, and based on nomination by your colleagues and peers and final selection by the Renewal Committee, I am truly pleased to formally acknowledge you as the Long Beach City College 2011 Outstanding Colleague.
Thank you, Camille, for your wonderful introduction and for all your support. You're a dear friend, and I know you played a huge part in my getting this award. Nice try, but it's not going to stop you from getting those pesky phone calls from me. I am truly thankful for being selected as one of the outstanding colleagues for my service to faculty, staff, administrators, students, and the members of the community. Being a recipient of this prestigious award is unexpected and extremely generous, and I rank it higher than my desire for the Dodgers to win another championship. And if you know me, you know how important that award is to me. I also want to congratulate the other 3 recipients. Today we join an elite group of people in front of us who have shown us how important it is to be of great service to LBCC and the surrounding community. The road to success is rarely easy, and the one that I have traveled was often difficult. After graduating from high school, my excitement at the prospect of attending college in San Francisco was dampened when housing was unavailable. Little did I know at the time that Long Beach City College would turn out to be the beginning of the next chapter in my life. At LBCC, I sought advice from Mary and Doug Johnson, friends of the family, who helped me outline my educational plan and told me to get a job as a student assistant on campus to support myself. After working in the social science department for about a year and a half, an intermediate clerk position became available. Mary encouraged me to apply for this entry-level position, although I didn't really think anyone would hire a college student for a permanent job. To my surprise, John Didion and Virginia Matkowski hired me to work in personnel. It was here that Pam Axep, Janice Miller, and Sharon Raven gave me guidance both professionally and personally. The college had some fiscal problems, much like the ones we have today, and some restructuring was done. My position was eliminated, but I was fortunate to be able to apply for other opportunities at the college. Luckily for me, Bill Barnes offered me the position of Campus Support Secretary at PCC, where Maria Diaz and Mary Calahiva taught me how important it is to be compassionate to every person that comes into the office. Over the last 20 years, I can truly say that every person I have worked with has given me a gift, sharing with me the knowledge and skills, as well as friendship and kindness. Without such assistance, I would not be standing here at this podium receiving this prestigious award. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all of you very much. In particular, I wish to thank Dr. Breland and Mary McEldowney for maintaining a work environment so pleasant that this honor should truly be shared with them. I also want to thank my family for all of their support in everything I do. My dad has shown me through his service to the community how to help others. My mom's selflessness has taught me about dedication. My brother Tony and sister-in-law Carrie have always given me advice and support, and have also blessed me with my wonderful niece and nephew, who I'm sure you heard back there earlier. Finally, my beautiful daughter, Torianne, who has patiently listened to all my LBCC stories. This honor pales in comparison to being your mother. Next year, you will enter this place you have known since birth, and I know that you will have an even better experience than I did, since you practically breathe LBCC. To all my family, friends, and colleagues, I hope I have made you all proud. Thank you again for this very special recognition. I am truly honored.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more round for all 4 of our outstanding colleagues? We also have a special thanks to one of our Board of Trustees who is here. He's always been here for us, but particularly given the challenge that he's working with right now, we're particularly honored. Would you all please thank and honor Mr. Doug Otto? Thank you. So now we are going to continue now with our service awards, and to do that, will you please welcome the Vice President of Human Resources, Rose Delgadio.
Thank you, Gary, and congratulations to this year's outstanding colleagues. At the same time, I am delighted and honored that we are able to have our former outstanding colleagues here in the audience today. Ironically, as I look at this group, it's such a distinguished group. I've got my former president who hired me originally, Beverly O'Neill, and I have the former vice president that I used to report to, Barbara Calvis. Barbara, hi, my name is now Delgadio. She may not recognize me under Delgadio. It used to be Dosta. But anyhow, now moving on to a different type of employee, and this is the employee that comes to work every day and has come to work to be honored today from 5 years to 10 years to 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and we even have a 40-year recipient today. So it's a special day to be able to honor those folks who work so diligently for Long Beach City College and its students. And so we are delighted to bring them forward today. If we could have our 5-year recipients come forward. We'll start you over on this end. We actually have 178 employees who will be honored for their years of service here at Long Beach City College. The service, as I said, ranged from 5 years to 40 years of commitment to Long Beach City College. They've been an important and major part of the history of Long Beach City College. And during this event, we will highlight some of those events. If you can imagine, 5 years ago, the Western Union was discontinued. Okay. Just a little excitement there, folks. MySpace was one of the top websites in the world with over 100 million members, and we know that Facebook has taken them over. And 5 years ago, the Long Beach City College men's water polo won state championships for the 2nd year in a row. So, with that, we're going to start with Annalisa Iglesias from Human Resources. Annalisa, you ready? All right, you can walk around this way. Annalisa Iglesias is a senior administrative assistant working with the Personnel Commission and Human Resources for 5 years. Janice Grass, Grant Assistant 3, Economic Resource Development. Sadia Porche, Director of VOP&S and Care. Vicki McDonald, Instructional Assistant, Computer and Office Technologies. Don Truesdell, Health Services Technician, Student Health Services. Jan Carter, Health Services Technician, Student Health Services. Matthew Turlow, Instructor, Electronics and Electricity. Diane Swindell, Technician 2, Admissions and Records. Yay. Nicole Lovely, Technician 2, Admissions and Records. Felicia Jefferson, Technician 2, Admissions and Records. Gary Rathburn, Carpenter, Facilities Maintenance and Operations. Marie Lar Hinton, Associate Professor, Foreign Language. Allison Brown, Disability Support Services Specialist, Growth and Opportunities Project. Terry Goldstein, Director, Growth and Opportunities Project. Judith Quinleton, Record Specialist, Admissions and Records. Paul Tian P. Bunsiri, College Articulation Specialist, School College Articulation. Robert Garcia, Director, Communications and Digital Media. Mike Collins, Director of Business Support Services. Mark Taylor, Director of Community and Government Relations. Tim Wooten, Director, District Facilities. And last but not least, Sabrina Sanders, Interim Dean, Student Affairs. Let's give them all a hand. Hold tight while we take the group photo. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our 10-year awardees, our new Vice President, Greg Peterson.
Hello. At this time, we would like to ask all the 10-year service awardees to approach the stage to receive your award. As they come up, I'll share a couple of the things that occurred 10 years ago. 2001 to 2002 was a very rough year. An attack was made on the World Trade Center in New York and on the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. The U.S. experienced an anthrax scare. California was hit with rolling blackouts. Enron, the 7th largest corporation in the United States, declared bankruptcy. There's a reason they gave me this one. It gets better, though. The average price of gas was $1.52 a gallon. Long Beach City College's men's basketball team won the South Coast Conference Championships, and the first Harry Potter film came out, which was the second highest grossing film around the world. So, talking about magic, we'll move to our awardees. Karen Harada, Executive Assistant, Human Resources. Shirley Brown, Administrative Assistant, Facilities, Maintenance, and Operations. Julie Chow, Senior Accounting Technician, Academic Affairs. Maria Neves, Planning Analyst, Institutional Effectiveness. Joanne Armenia, Coordinator, Student Health Services. Allison G. Murray, Assistant Professor, English. Dennis Miller, Professor, English as a Second Language. Mohammed Aripur, Professor, Mathematics. Ramcharan Sethuraman, Professor, Library. Juliana Edlin, Program Director, Interior Design. Javier Rivera, Instructor, Carpentry. Larry Gustafson, Assistant Professor, Welding. Jordan I. Fabish, Professor, Reading. Diane M. Amelet, Professor, Reading. Michelle Thomas, Instructor, Disabled Student Programs and Services. Carl Garner, Adaptive Computing Specialist, Disabled Student Programs and Services. Mumtaz Hassan, Lab Specialist, Life Science. Dara Alvarez, Financial Aid Specialist, Financial Aid. Daniel Blinko, Senior Locksmith, Facilities Maintenance and Operations. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to introduce Anne-Marie Gable, who will be presenting the 15-year awardees.
Good afternoon, and I see you guys are all the 15-year award recipients. If you guys could make your way to the stage. And while they're doing that, these employees were hired between July 1st, 96 and June 30th of 97. And just to bring us back a little bit to that time, Hotmail, a free internet service, begins. So it was 16 years ago, we never had email. God, how our life was better. The federal minimum wage was raised to $4.75. Prince Charles and Princess Di signed their divorce papers. Next week, their son gets married. Our LBCC men's volleyball team were conference champions. And the LBCC women's volleyball were conference champions, and they made it to the Final Four state champions. So with that, our first 15-year recipient. Yolanda Padilla, Professor and Counselor, EOPS. Rhonda Wood, Professor, Registered Nursing. Peggy Wells, Professor, Registered Nursing. Arnie Nystrom, Senior Network Administrator, Instructional and Information Technology. Congratulations. Lorraine Bluen, Counselor. Gabor Voss, Professor, Auto Body and Auto Mechanics. Trish Johnson, Administrative Assistant, Child Development Center at LAC. Robert Sparks, one of our outstanding colleagues, Reaper Graphics Tech. Oh yeah, thanks, upside down. Dwayne Schaefer, Assistant Professor and Counselor. Congratulations. Paul Savoy, Assistant Professor, History and Political Science. Deborah Boyle, Program Specialist, EOP&S. Congratulations. Laura Compion, Academic Administrative Assistant, Student Success. Jose Ramon Nunez, Dean of Language Arts.
Everybody, can we ask the 20-year participants, recipients, to step up, please? And while you're doing that, if the 20-year recipients can step up, please. While you're doing that, just let me share a few facts with you about what was going on 20 years ago. Desert Storm was taking place in Iraq. Kind of interesting that we're still in Iraq. The Long Beach men's volleyball team won the division conference championship. Of a new house, $120,000. Wouldn't that be nice this day? The internet was made available to unrestricted commercial use, and the number of computers on the it's over 1 billion today. And Tiger Woods was the youngest PGA player at that time at 16 years old. Okay, then we can hear now. Okay, I know who this is. This is Julian Delgadio. Congratulations, Julian. An outstanding colleague, and another outstanding colleague, Vicki Lurch. Also, Laura Miller, Senior Accountant, Fiscal Services. Kathy Atwood, Administrative Assistant, Business and Social Sciences. Hey, Phyllis. Phyllis Arias, Professor, Learning and Academic Resources. Deborah Peterson, Associate Professor and Counselor, Counseling Department. Elvia Miras, Professor, Food and Nutrition. Terenti Bortis, Associate Professor, Mathematics. B.K. Chris Mudenuri, Professor, Mathematics. Congratulations. Oh, you are? Sorry. I thought he was just hanging around the stage. Sorry. The wonderful Dr. Love, Gary Scott, Fine Arts. Congratulations to our 20-year employees. And now I'd like to introduce the bold and the brazen Don Burrs.
Would the 25-year recipients service award please come forward to the stage, please? If there's any here, good. While they're approaching the stage, I just share with you, everybody was given the price of gasoline. 25 years ago, it was 89 cents, okay? The average cost of a house was, at that time, was $89,434. It's, of course, $250,000 now, even after the downturn that's took place. The cost of oil per barrel then was $10. Today, it is just a little over $100 a barrel. The top movie during that period of time, in that year, the top grossing film was a film called Top Gun. LBCC, of course, at that particular year, was the water polo state champions, and also the men's baseball team won the conference. Beverly O'Neill was our acting president, and the world population, which I find interesting, was 5 billion. Today it's over 7 billion. And the stamp, anybody use stamps anymore? In 1987, that was 22 cents, and today it's a little over, it's 44 cents. And for those of you who consider Johnny Depp one of your heroes, he got his first start in TV in 21 Jump Street. So anyway, with that in mind, we will proceed with the recipients. Okay, let's see here. Who win? Nin? Gotcha. Go ahead. Thank you. Here, what am I going to do then? Yeah. Jeannie Harris Fratzi. Rodney Tsukishima. The other recipients aren't here, but I'll mention them, of course. Baruch Eli Malik, he's not here right now. Yolanda Fernandez, Kevin Kearney, Robert Henry, Dan Ripley, and of course Olympia Salmas. Let's all give them at least a hand if they're not here. I want everybody to know that Mina helped me with the pronunciations. I failed. Now, our Vice President Delgadio will award the 30-year service awards.
All right, thank you, Don. Do we have 30-year award recipients here today? Anybody? Okay. It's actually a small group, so let me go ahead and announce who they are, and we can honor them in absentia. We have Ruth the Bear, who's with the Career Development Center. We have Pam Axup in Human Resources, Dennis DiGiovanni, Professor of Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, Frank Izetta, Professor of Business Administration, Charlotte Joseph, Professor of History and Political Science, Michael Owens, Certified Athletic Trainer Athletics, and Jan Quinn Wyant, Professor of Theater, Dance, and Film. And back to Eloy.
Okay, we're almost there. 2 more categories, 35 years and 40 years. First, we'll begin with 35 years of service. At this time, if we have anyone who's been here 34, we have one. Great, great. So, let me tell you a little bit about what was going on 35 years ago. This one's very special to me. The Bionic Woman with Lindsay Wagner debuts on ABC. Stephen Wozniak and Stephen Jobs founded Apple. Barbara Walters became the first female nightly network news anchor. Kiss performed their first concert. Of course, we all remember that. Jimmy Carter defeats Gerald Ford for president. You have a Jimmy Carter fan back here? And, of course, this seems to be a common theme. The LBCC men's volleyball, baseball, and men's basketball were all state champions that year. So, our 35-year awardee goes to Curie Delarama. Congratulations, Curie. And, oh, this is it. Oh, it's bigger. Congratulations, Curie. All right, and last but certainly not least, 40 years of service. And we have one individual, Mr. Joseph Danner. Joe, can you come down? So, 40 years ago, 40 years ago, when we hired Dan, Amtrak Railroad began its operations. 36 were hospitalized during a Grateful Dead concert because of drunkenness, because they drank LSD apple juice. Joe, were you one of those? The Ed Sullivan Show's last broadcast was on CBS. The Watergate team breaks into Daniel Ellsberg's doctor's office. John Lennon releases Imagine album. In 1971, the U.S. national average for a gallon of regular gasoline was 36 cents, and I'm sure they were complaining then. Odie Wright was the superintendent of the district, and the men's basketball, men's golf, men's gymnastic, and men's golf were all state champions that year. Joe, congratulations on 40 years of outstanding service. Thank you so much. Well, thank you all for being here. This is our one opportunity throughout the year to really honor those that make Long Beach City College great. We had a special opportunity to honor those who came before. So thank you to all of you. Thank you for making Long Beach City College the great college that it is. Enjoy the rest of the semester and look forward to seeing you all in commencement. Thank you.
Before you head out, let me just take a minute to thank a number of people, because events like this unfortunately do not go on without the effort of a lot of individuals who partner together. So first, let me thank the Long Beach City College Foundation, Ginny Baxter, for promoting this event and sponsoring the awards. For the Human Resources Department, who sponsored the catering and service awardees. To Public Affairs and Marketing, Camille Bolton, Bill Zeiliger, and Lynn Blankenship for promoting the event, assisting the design development of the programs, and creating signage for this ceremony. To Multimedia Services and IITS, Cindy Hanks, Fred Rosmanak, Jerome Thomas, Blake McIntosh, Cece Sadler, Colleen Gagney, and Myra Aguilar for their help in producing the 25th anniversary video, graphic design, and layout and technical support. To the Renewal Committee, responsible for the Outstanding Colleague Awards, Sandy Backen, Curry De La Rama, Jessica Legault, Corinne Magdaleno, Betty Martin, Seth, and Dr. Gary Thomas Scott, a former Outstanding Colleague Award recipient who for the past 12 years has been very passionate about recognizing exemplary employees at Long Beach City College. He has spearheaded this committee and will be sorely missed as he will be retiring this next year. To Facilities, Jonathan Ekman, and Auditorium staff members Steve Aston, Don Marcy, Tony Pearson for assisting with setup. And I especially want to thank Stacy Gutierrez from Human Resources, our professional development coordinator, who helped bring this all together. Thank you so much, Gary. We're going to miss you. And for the rest of you, enjoy cake and refreshments out in the lobby. Thank you so much for being here.